From inside the NFL to inside AT&T Stadium for the Jets and the Cowboys. Cowboys will receive, winning the toss, wanting the football. And for that coin toss, one of the honorary captains for Dallas, the #1 ranked golfer in the world, Jordan Spieth, the Masters champion, the U.S. Open winner. So here we get started with Boyd putting it on a tee. We are 50 days to Super Bowl 50, partner, and we got a good one tonight.
We sure do. Going to be exciting. We know a team that's desperate. They've been desperate for a while. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Can they find a way to beat this good, solid Jets football team?
Now Bullock sends it down to Lucky Whitehead into the corner, running it out from halfway deep, and he gets +1 off the return to the 21. 26-yard run back, and Matt Castle now takes the field. 1-5 as a Cowboy starter. His first ever career start, actually back in 08 after the Brady injury week 1, came against the New York Jets. That season he started twice against New York. The second game in the matchup against the Jets, he had a 400-yard passing performance. Still on the roster, Jets from that game back then: Revis, Cromartie, Pace, and Harris, all of whom are starting tonight on that Jets defense. First down play is going to be a little pass, and that's complete to Witten. And Witten, who recently went over 1,000 catches on his career, has a gain of 15, his 66th catch of this year.
Well, you know, you look at Matt Castle, what a tough position. He replaced Tom Brady, now coming down here trying to replace Tony Romo in an offense he was asked to learn in a couple weeks before they inserted him into the lineup. It's been tough. He told us as time has gone on, though, they've put more and more plays into the offense that he likes, that help him and gives him a better chance of success.
He gives it to McFadden, and he's stacked up right in the middle of the field by Leonard Williams, who was the 6th overall pick of this spring's draft out of Southern Cal. Jason Garrett, the only former Cowboy player to become the franchise's head coach.
Yeah, what was his message to the football team this week? Guys, if we win 3 games, it's a big task. And I'm not laughing when I say it. We win. Let's don't miss this opportunity. It's still out there. We have to have hope. That's what he preached. And he said he had a good week of practice because of that message.
As you saw, Romo on the sideline, injured 2 different occasions this season, missing great majority of the year, looking like a reverse. And here they go with Whitehead. And Castle's out in front of him, wanting to hit somebody. And Whitehead does a little move to get past one defender and takes it down to the 30. Finally brought down. Leonard Williams ran all the way down there to stop it after a 33-yard pickup.
This is what you like. You start out, you get your quarterback into the game with an easy completion, and then you do something different. Get your team emotional. You run the reverse. Lucky Whitehead, Matt Castle with the block. Get everybody involved and get these Dallas Cowboy fans, of course, fired up about their football team.
Look at Castle out in front.
That's a good job. Demario Davis gets him out of the way.
So from the 31 of the Jets, 3 plays to get here. It's back to McFadden. He slides for about 5. Darren McFadden coming off a nice performance at Green Bay, his 4th 100-yard performance of the season, on only 9 carries last week at Lambeau, 111 yards.
Well, I think when you look at Darren McFadden, just watching him last week, it's like, wow, he's finally, you know, no matter who you are, even a running back, just got a feel for the offense. The offensive line was tough, opened up some holes, and he's got the style down. You saw it on that last run. Just take it, one quick move, go up the field and get those yards.
2nd and 5. Ball on him again, coming behind 3, and he's got a nice gain for another first for the Cowboys. Brought down by Sheldon Richardson, goes for 11.
Well, you say it, Zach Martin and Travis Frederick dug free 68, but here comes Jason Witten, gets the block. Darren McFadden follows him behind, and it's Jets defense. Got to wake up. You know, you look at that record, you say, oh, 4-9, we're hot, we're playing well. And you, hey, listen, this is the NFL. Every week is tough.
Well, this will tell a story. The Jets are best in the league red zone defense. The Cowboys have been miserable oftentimes down here. From the 15, back to McFadden. He's got another nice gainer. Give him another 6.
Well, they've been miserable down in this part of the field. The running back change, losing Murray to the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, Dez Bryant not being 100% Jim. You add that up. The offensive line can't do the job that they want. Situations have changed. All has been bad for Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator.
You mentioned Dez Bryant. He is sent to the right side. It was his best week of practice, they told us. As healthy as he's been, coming off perhaps his worst game ever, though, as a Cowboy. Only one catch up at Green Bay, and they're looking his way. There he is. What in the world happened that time?
Well, just he was open. Matt Castle threw the ball just a little too quickly and too hard. Watch the move outside. That's kind of sums it up for this Dallas Cowboys offense.
Yeah, Bryant was targeted 6 times last Sunday, caught 1, dropped 2, and had another one deflect off his hands for an interception.
Well, you see the top of the screen. It's Darrelle Revis and Dez Bryant. You know it's going to be one-on-one most of the game between those two.
3rd and 4 from the 9. And here's Castle looking down the middle, now looking for an option. In trouble, stepping up and slings it. Incomplete. Looking for Williams. Screen was the defender who tapped it away, and again the Cowboys unable to finish off a drive, as so often has been the case this season.
Well, we see why they're good in red zone defense. The pass protection was excellent, but look how long they covered the receivers down the field, and Buster Skrine, as good a slot defender as there is in the NFL. Lots of energy, stayed close, knocked the pass down.
And Castle got knocked down as well. It brings out Dan Bailey, 27-yard attempt. He's missed only once the whole year. 25 out of 26, and he's good again. Set up mainly by the Lucky Whitehead. Reverse for 33, and a couple of nice McFadden runs. The Cowboys' first series, Nets 3. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition, brought to you by Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL, as you look at the printing machine in Phil Simms' basement back home in New Jersey.
Ooh, do I wish.
Actually, about half the nation's currency printed at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, about 30 minutes away in Fort Worth.
Really, if that was in my basement, I would actually give you a little money.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
I'd pick up a check.
That would be a first.
Yes, thank you.
How about the fact that the Cowboys on that drive rushed for 55? Now, granted, one of them was a trick play, a reverse to Whitehead, but this is a Jets defense. Number 1 again, as you said, in the league, giving up only 79 yards a game. Cowboys got 55 on the ground.
Pretty good offensive line the Cowboys have. They can move people. We'll see how it goes through the night.
Cromartie, there's a hand on him early, but he's tackled at the 15 by Gachkar. All right, Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Jets have their first crack with the football coming back. The Jets' first snap will occur at the 15. Fitzpatrick is within 4 touchdown passes of Vinny Testaverde's franchise mark of 29. Most wins in a season in his career. Previous high had been 6. He had 6 wins last year down in Houston before breaking his leg in December. Here's the give to Ivory. He makes 1 cut and picks up about 3. So over the last 3 games, Phil, he's been sensational. 9 touchdowns, no picks, all wins.
Well, they say they've simplified the offense a little, quit trying to do too much. And Fitzpatrick, you know, I said it already, you know, coming off the broken leg that they got down in Houston, it was a slow start to the season. I thought for him physically, they figured out what they want to do. The offensive line is solid. And, of course, Chris Ivory, a running back, I think has changed this offense and made it hard to defend.
Ivory raised about an hour and 40 minutes east of here in Longview, Texas. Grew up a big Cowboy fan. Fake to him, 2nd and 7 in the pass. A little too high as the Cowboys had it defended, and were about to apply some pressure, headed in the direction of Brandon Marshall.
They're going to be fun to watch this. Brandon Marshall having such an outstanding year, going against Brandon Carr a lot tonight. Wouldn't be surprised to see Brandon Carr follow Brandon Marshall all over the field.
Well, Brandon Marshall has been almost unstoppable, hasn't he? 8 100-yard performances. This streak he's got going of touchdown catches consecutive games. Look at those numbers, eye-popping. Can become the Jets' all-time receiver with 5 grabs tonight, breaking Al Toon's mark. 3rd and 7. From the pocket, Fitzpatrick, and incomplete as Carr. Very physical defense of that pass attempted for Marshall.
Well, they stay tight on the coverage. Here comes the blitz inside. You see Hitchens, Sean Lee to the outside. Good protection, but no separation between Marshall and Carr. Good start for the Cowboy defense, which I said, Jim, they need to have an outstanding night for this team to have a great chance to win.
There's Quigley angling this one, and he overhooked it. This is really a misfire by Quigley. And in fact, Dallas will be set up at the 43 of New York. Just a 25-yard punt. Today's Next Gen stats are brought to you by Go 90. Watch the NFL on the go with Go 90. Go 90 to watch, cut, and share all the awesome. So the Cowboys set up with a short field at the Jets 43. First time McFadden tries the left side, and he's knocked back for a 2-yard loss.
Well, Jim, as we look at this game tonight, what's a big key for the Dallas Cowboys offense? We talked to Matt Castle yesterday. He says we got to block the blitz. We have been bad against it. We've struggled. And why is that so important? Well, the New York Jets, the 3rd most blitzing defense in the NFL. So you got to have plays ready to change, to do some different things on the offensive side if the Jets start getting into that blitz mode.
2nd and 12, and they fake it to Whitehead. Sidearms it to McFadden. He got a great block over there. Then he wiggles inside the 20, and he's back inside the red zone. There is a flag down where I thought it was a clean block. The officials will think otherwise.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 70. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay. 2nd down.
Zach Martin called for it. Takes out a 30-yard pass play.
Zach Martin, number 70, pushes from behind. That's a good call.
No question.
But I like what they've done. You know, they've run the reverse. They faked the reverse. They threw the screen. They've moved the quarterback. And I always say, when your offense is struggling, you got to get help from the coaches. Scott Linehan, right now, being more deceptive and showing some different looks to this New York Jets defense.
Spot foul makes it 2nd and 17. And a timeout comes from the New York side.
Timeout.
As David Harris
Jets
hobbles to the sideline. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition brought to you by Verizon. Watch live, local, and primetime games on NFL Mobile, included only on Verizon. And by Papa John's, 2 large, 2-topping pizzas for just $7.77 each. Everyone will love that. Cowboys making the rounds during the holidays to the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children, Cook Children's over in Fort Worth, Children's Health in Dallas, and Medical City Children's Hospital. They're checking the lower back, David Harris. And they brought in Aaron Henderson in the meantime. And 6 defensive backs as the Cowboys, right at the 50, face a 2nd and 17. Castle lost his balance. And then just throws it right to Revis. Flags are out as Revis is slammed down by Collins.
Well, Matt Castle avoided an interception by not throwing the outside screen. Buster Screen is going to intercept the football. He read the quarterback, read the play. That's why Matt Castle pulled it down and threw to the other side.
And Revis ends up coming up with the interception on the. There is a flag back at the Jets 43.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Ineligible man downfield. Offense. That penalty's declined. Intentional grounding. Offense, number 14. That penalty's also declined. Result of play is 1st down.
Well, what set it all in motion, Jim, was number 41. Buster screen. Watch, he reads it outside. Here he comes up in there and is going for the interception. And Matt Castle does a great job of holding on to the football.
But he got off balance, though.
Oh, and then he's off balance and then just trying to, I guess he's trying to throw it out of bounds. And Darrelle Revis, they don't come easier than that.
That's his 4th interception of the season. And flags fly as the Jets.
False start. Offense. Number 67. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Greg Rolstad and his team officiating here tonight. Hey, tomorrow at 9 on NFL Network, Giants star receiver Odell Beckham Jr. reveals the secret to his success. NFL Game Day morning, live tomorrow at 9 only on NFL Network.
You know, you got everything going. The Dallas Cowboys, they stopped the Jets offense. They had some plays. They get the penalty, and then they just ruin the opportunity and take really the emotion away from the crowd and their players with that last interception.
1st and 15 from the 40. There's a pass complete to Tompkins, the former Patriot, brought down by Hardy after 7.
You got to be, and you have to respect the pass rush for the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's an excellent pass rush across the board. So that's why you see Ryan Fitzpatrick. What was his big key coming in the game? Get rid of the football, and you get a team like the Cowboys that rush upfield, throw those screens underneath.
He gets rid of it in a hurry. He's been sacked only 15 times this year. Fewest sacks per attempt of the Jets in the league. 2nd and 8. And here's Hardy running after Fitzpatrick, who unloads it in time. Right at the first down marker is Decker.
Gave a little fake. He did a little thing. He stopped the defense. He held everybody in place. Fitzpatrick throws the football very well, I think, on the run. Has a long motion, but he dips under, throws it sidearm. That's exactly what you'd like to do, running to your left as a quarterback. And Eric Decker, boy, Jim, we were talking about it, watching them warm up. You see Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall out there. Marshall out, and you say, boy, those are some big tight ends.
Yeah, they got some size, don't they? And they've got 20 touchdown catches between them. 1st and 10, Dallas 25. And Ivory, who seldom goes down on first contact, goes low, picks up a couple.
Isn't that what he said to you? Started playing football in the 3rd grade, and he goes, I was taught, or just never let one guy bring you down. That talks about his running style, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, Emmitt Smith was his guy growing up, but he's not like an Emmitt Smith. He's really more like another guy from East Texas, not all that far away from
That's right.
his hometown of Longview. I'm talking Tyler, the Tyler Rose. Earl Campbell, he'll remind you a little bit in style.
Yeah, in style.
Not saying the same career, just saying
yes.
style.
No, I understand. I think it's a great comparison.
2nd and 8. Powell was in the backfield, and Fitzpatrick dumps it off to him. And Bilal Powell, who is coming on here late in the year, he's healthy now. He's making a difference. He's got a first down after a pickup of 11.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick looks down the field. Let's play quarterback. He looks down there, doesn't like anything he sees, feels respect the pass rush, and get it to Powell, who over the sprained ankle, and now you can see what a great tandem him and Chris Ivory are, because he catches the ball well. He's an excellent blocker for the quarterback, and definitely has some spring in those legs.
So the Jets now set up at the 12, and another set of downs. Here's Ivory going outside. It's Ivory to the 5 and down near the 4. The likes of Brian Winters helping him go for 8.
Yeah, you said it right. The right guard, Brian Winters, watching pull, and watch the fullback. Bohannon reads the block by Winters, gets outside, and then Chris Ivory takes care of the rest. Boy, nice read. That's what you got to do as a fullback. Bohannon, very good athlete, good hands, and they've been using him a little more, and I see why, because he's an excellent blocker.
All kinds of options now on 2nd and short. That's Ivory. Contact quickly by DeMarcus Lawrence. And a loss of 1. Hitchens in there too.
DeMarcus Lawrence, 90 You said it, first guy in there. He is playing absolutely at the top these last few weeks. Great game against the Green Bay Packers last week. Him along with Greg Hardy, obvious passing situations, they're tough to deal with.
So here's where Marshall is so tough to deal with too. 3rd and 3 from the 5. Marshall in a slot to the left. Straight ahead. The spot looks like it's going to be good enough for the first.
Oh, what a read. I was going to say don't fall asleep on the quarterback running, but I meant scrambling if nobody was open. Looks like it's going to be just a little short. They're going to go for it, I'm sure.
Look at Fitzpatrick just duck his head down.
That's a good spot. That's about exactly where he landed. And Fitzpatrick, his running has been timely all year long. Sometimes showing a little too much courage, taking extra hits. But I agree with this. You go for it, especially with a power running back and a good offensive line.
4th and a foot. They'll go to Ivory, and the Cowboys pounce on him behind the line of scrimmage. Well, that reawakened the crowd here. It's Lawrence again, the first to come in on Ivory. Dallas takes over on downs. It's only the 3rd time the entire season the Jets failed to put up points in the red zone. Each team now failing to take advantage of very good field position. Dallas takes over at the 4. And push. McFadden pushes it out for about 4. And how about the push by that defensive front?
Watch DeMarcus Lawrence. Everybody, you said it. Even if he doesn't make the tackle, there's about 5 other people are going to be there. Big key to this game. We've talked about the defensive line of the Cowboys is going to dominate. That'll get you going. And Matt Castle, that interception, a little easier to take right now after that stop by the Cowboy defense.
2nd and 6. Here's Castle over the head of Bryant with Revis on him. That came out kind of funny. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. You guys mentioned Des Bryant's struggles last week. Well, Jason Garrett told me that he spent some time with him this week. He told him to just be patient, let the game come to him. Matt Castle told me that they worked on communication on and off the field. And I spoke with wide receiver coach Derek Dooley, who told me he is finally looking like himself the first time since the Green Bay game of last year. We'll see if it translates onto the field tonight, Jim.
Well, this season, it's been the foot injury, even a strained MCL. He's had only 27 receptions on the year.
One injury in this game always leads to another one.
3rd and 6 in the end zone. Castle off the hands of Terrence Williams, but for a moment it looked like Richardson might make a play on a safety.
Well, this is going to be, it's unsettling. You hear a few boos. Matt Castle, you know, you can't be feeling great after that interception, but look, nice job of avoiding the safety, getting away from Sheldon Richardson. And not only this, but as I look down the field, Jim, they got to find a way to get some guys open too. It's not all just Matt Castle. The receivers not beating the one-on-one coverage so far in this game.
Chris Jones to punt it to Jeremy Curley, who played college ball over at TCU in neighboring Fort Worth. And here is Curley with an over-the-shoulder grab and a fair catch at the 40. Nice 52-yard boot by Jones. How about the 2 starting quarterbacks tonight? Well-traveled, to say the least, Phil. Look at the different, now the number of actual franchises they've started the game for. 6 for Fitzpatrick, 5 for Castle. We got to qualify Castle. They gave him the start week 1 at Buffalo. He took the opening snap as Tyrod Taylor lined up as a wideout for a reverse. It's the only play of his entire Bills career, but he gets credit for the start and the win.
You told him that yesterday, and he goes, yes, I know, and I'll take it. But Hey, to do all that traveling and be on so many different teams tells you got to have a certain pretty good amount of talent to survive that long in the NFL.
Boy, Powell with a spin move. He was going to take a loss, and he got away from Greg Hardy and picks up a first on a 10-yard gain. Well, Fitzpatrick, 10-0 his senior year in the Ivy League out of Harvard. Went from St. Louis and Cincinnati on to Buffalo. Got a big, rich contract there, playing for Chan Gailey, who's now his offensive coordinator, Tennessee and Houston, and then on to the Jets.
Hey, load it. You can take.
From the 50, with time to throw and an open man. To it was Marshall, and the Cowboys then, including Sean Lee, were trying to somehow get there in time to no avail.
Well, the coverage is good. Brandon Carr stays in good position the whole time, but the throw is not on target, wasn't a perfect spiral, and I'm sure Brandon, let's see if he keeps his eyes on it to the last second. He does. Just a drop.
Yeah, the pass was not exactly a perfect spiral, but it hit him right in the hands.
It was not a thing of beauty, that's for sure, but it doesn't have to be when you're throwing to Decker and Marshall. Big opportunity missed by the Jets.
2nd and 10. With pressure. Gets it away, and that was close to a pick. That was nearly picked by Wilcox.
The Jets have the wrong protection. Terrence Mitchell, number 21, comes off the slot. You got to be ready for it. Nobody's running a short route. Fitzpatrick tries to hang in there and throw it deep down the field. Only person that saw it was J.J. Wilcox.
Yeah, never close to getting to Decker.
Oh, look at that. Boy, I'll tell you the one thing you notice a lot. Fitzpatrick can deal the football sidearm any way he needs to get it around defenders.
Well, that defender who was blitzing was Terrence Mitchell, who they just brought up. 3rd and 10. Cowboys try to put some pressure. They don't. And Decker fumbles the football as he gets hit in the back. It was knocked out by Byron Jones, and it's a Cowboy recovery by Church. Decker is down.
He beat Jones coming across the field. It's a good throw, but good hustle and staying with it by Jones.
And a number of Jet players signaling to the sideline to get some of the training crew, the medical team out there in a hurry. Couple of things here. Decker's been up walking around. Now they put him on a table, and after we went to break, the officials on the field changed the call and said Decker was down by contact, not a fumble. But the replay is really close, and I believe it's going to say otherwise than the final call that they made on the field. As Decker looked to just kind of throw the football, he was in...
Well, he was in pain, so he threw the football down. Now the big question, was his knee down before they came out of his hand?
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field of a catch and down by contact.
So take a look at this, Phil. What do you see?
I think it's a fumble. That was my first thought as I saw it in that replay.
Well, here you go. It's fractions.
Has he lost control right there just before the knee went down?
That's a question we'll ask of Mike Carey up here in the booth.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking at. First of all, was a knee down and was the ball clearly out? And when it's that tight, no matter what the ruling on the field is, probably what we have to do is stay with the ruling on the field.
Well, it's interesting that they changed the ruling on the field once. We saw the signal, Cowboy recovery, and then somebody came in and overruled it, and they went the other way.
Well, what they do is you get different people from different angles, and then when they discuss it, they decide what is the best call here, and the best call for them was down by contact, and it's too tight in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not enough to overturn it probably.
Yep, good point. As you see it in slow motion replay, you're right, it's so tight.
And look at Decker in pain. The amazing thing, he has been up a couple of times walking around without a noticeable limp.
The ruling on the field stands. There's a catch and down by contact. It'll be first down. Dallas will be charged with a timeout.
So they lose the challenge, a timeout, and it's a 13-yard pass play to Decker in the end.
He's down, still close. It's in his hand, even though it's moving.
Yeah, does he have control? It might still be in his hand, but did he still have control?
Yeah, but it's, I think, Mike, I was wrong. You were right. Just
Sometimes that happens.
yeah, sometimes it does. It was just so close that after seeing it in slow motion, breaking it down like that, it's a good call.
Stephen Ridley is in at running back.
Yeah.
Jets have a first down at the Dallas 37. There's a pass thrown in the direction of Ridley. After the postgame, a new chapter in a classic rivalry, and the moment Dallas returned to glory. The Timeline, a new NFL Network original series, tonight after the postgame only on NFL Network.
You know, as I watch this game, and one of the things we talked about, Jim, you know, we talk about it constantly when we're around a few days, and the New York Jets, it's a big offensive line. The Cowboys defense, by NFL standards, is not big. They rely on speed, quickness, doing some movement up front. I know the Jets would like to run the ball enough to wear them down and try to overpower them as the game goes on.
Here's a 2nd and 10, and that time it goes to Marshall, who turned his defender around and has a first catch of the game for Brandon.
Well, a couple things. Here comes the blitz. You can't even see it coming out from the screen. It's too late. The timing's not good by Barry Church and Fitzpatrick. Well, Brandon Carr's been running away. In other words, trying to stay ahead of Brandon Marshall. So a good call, run one of those routes down the field where he stops, then try to tackle the big guy.
25-yard pass play right here. And while they were in the review, the challenge during the break, Eric Decker was taken to the Jets locker room for further review. Handoff, Powell. Look at that burst. Touchdown, Jets. Third straight game, he has scored a touchdown. Bilal Powell.
He goes in there. Looks like there's nobody there. The safety comes up, goes the wrong way. Nobody there to tackle Powell. Watch both safeties come up. One goes left, one goes right. Nobody in the middle. Easy touchdown.
Powell had caught touchdowns each of the 2 previous games, and that one was a pretty impressive little burst. The handoff, extra point by Bullock is no good. It's his first miss as a Jet. He had struggled down in Houston.
Well, we're seeing this more and more, these extra points. They're not gimmies anymore. Like I said, it used to be like a chip shot for them when they did it so close. It gave the kickers confidence and whatever. Now they go out there going, hey, this is not just that automatic extra point. Like
No, you know, this is something we've really not discussed in any of our broadcasts this year, but it's something I like. I like the fact it's not automatic anymore.
I hated it
Yep.
during the preseason, early in the year, but I'm liking it now.
You're liking it now.
You know,
Yeah.
of course, when you get more information, you can change your opinion. It is kind of changing things. It's changing the outcome of games, the way you manage the game, and what you do in certain situations. So it's maybe as we're doing a team tomorrow.
Pittsburgh.
They don't hesitate. They go for 2 a lot of times.
Mike Tomlin's gone for 2, 10 times this year. He's 7 out of 10.
Not bad.
So they've converted more 2s than any team in the history of the league in one season. So a 6-3 lead with just 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. You saw the graphic there. The Jets first miss in 273 point-after attempts. This will be run back by Whitehead, 2 yards deep. Whitehead hesitates for a moment, and that opens up another 5 yards or so before Miles makes the tackle. On a flag here on special teams. Yeah, Des Bryant.
During their turn, illegal hands to the face. Kicking team, number 85. This 5-yard penalty will be added into the play. First down, Dallas.
called on Cumberland. This Skycam is being presented by Mazda here at AT&T Stadium. Already the site of a Super Bowl 45. The Packers and the Steelers tangled here. Site of the Final Four back a year and a half ago, won by UConn. And of course the national championship game was here in college football as well. This is Turbin's first action for the Cowboys. And it's a loss of 1. It might be the last play of the quarter. And you walk away from the first quarter with what thoughts about this game, Phil?
Well, that the Dallas Cowboys had a lot of things going in their direction and didn't take advantage of it. They're probably looking up there going, I can't believe we're down 6-3 after all those opportunities.
We'll return to Dallas after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football Saturday edition. We're waiting for the Jets to give us some information, but it looks promising for Decker, who's come back to the sideline. We saw a couple of the assistant coaches high-fiving and knocking knuckles.
Yes, it's a good sign for the Jets.
2nd and 11. Second quarter begins. McCassell play action in trouble, and he's not getting away. Calvin Pace rides him down.
This defense is pretty good on the edges. In other words, they just don't let quarterbacks do these bootlegs. Calvin Pace, 97, stays in position. Muhammad Wilkerson's right there with him. And nothing Matt Castle can do. That decision's got to be made immediately to throw the football away.
Well, there's a sack and there's a mega sack. This goes for a 19-yard loss.
Well, when you get in a situation like this, draw and screen.
3rd and 30. That's the situation. And there's your screen to Hannah. Now one block, now a second one. He's out to the 31, so he recovers about 17 of it back, but it's a punting situation now for Dallas.
Yeah, just, you know, it's just that play. You know, Dez Bryant, he's getting covered one-on-one. I know it's Darrelle Revis, but move Dez Bryant around. Give your star player, your best receiver, chances to catch the football. Dallas has not really done that yet.
He's been targeted twice, no catches. In fact, no Cowboy wideout has a catch at this point.
We said, can these receivers for the Cowboys, one of their weaknesses, can they beat one-on-one coverage? The answer so far is a big no.
Low snap, but Jones got it away. That's a good boot as Curley catches it on his way out of bounds after a 49-yard punt. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition brought to you by Mazda. Driving matters. And by Tostitos Chips and Dips. Bring the party. Some new artwork here. They've got quite a collection at the stadium, and the Jones family recent acquisition called White Form by one of your favorites, Phil, Ellsworth Kelly.
There you go. Love him.
Mrs. Jones is very proud of it.
Mrs. Jones right in the middle.
All right, the Jets have Decker back on the field in a slot to the left. That's Ivory. And that's a gain of 1. The touchdown scored by Powell earlier. Here it is.
What's it look like in 360 eye vision? Here we go. You turn it around. There's the big key, the safety. That's Wilcox. You know, you got to spread the defense out. When you see two defenders standing behind, one behind the other, that's not a good sign. That's why the hole was so big. And Powell just walked into the end zone.
Yeah, he's an elusive, slippery runner, but that one was about speed, too. Who would have guessed about 20 minutes ago that Decker would be back onto the field this quickly as the Jets face 2nd and 9. Ivory hops outside, and he's a yard short of the first. Gain of 8. Let's look at next-gen stats presented by Go90.
Well, the Jets do 4 wide receivers more than any team in the NFL. This is something that Chan Gailey, 4 wide receivers, no tight ends, but he did it with Buffalo, doing it with the Jets. They do this, and the big key to it is, Jim, one of their receivers, Quincy Enunwa, is a tight end slash wide receiver, big enough to go inside and block what he needs to. That's why you see him use 4 wide receivers so much.
And Chan Gailey was the Cowboy coach back here in the late 90s. 3rd and 1, and again on short yardage, Ivory is denied. This time, Greg Hardy makes the stick and a loss of a couple.
Well, that's what this defense is about. It's about penetration. Hardy on the outside, jumps inside to Brickashaw Ferguson. And the speed, we've seen it a few times. DeMarcus Lawrence, Greg Hardy, using their quickness and speed to beat the big offensive lineman.
So Ivory, such a tough runner, stopped down on the goal line in the first quarter and stopped there on a 3rd and 1. Quigley sends it down. And let's see where they'll say this flew out. All right, at the 26-yard line, 45-yard boot by Quigley. 6-3, New York leads it. Well, here's a development. The Cowboys have switched quarterbacks. Kellen Moore, who had a decorated career at Boise State, is about to take his first career NFL snap. In his 4th year, he was a backup at Detroit for a few years. He's never played in an NFL game until this very moment. There's a handoff to McFadden. Sidesteps an early hit and has a gain of 4. And Kellen Moore, well, you remember what he did up at Boise State. Had all kinds of attention up there. He was all-time leading passer, starting 52 of his 53 career games there. But he was not drafted. He was signed as a rookie free agent with the Lions back in 2012. He's been inactive for every regular season game he's been dressed for in his career over the span of 4 years.
Got some reps this week in practice.
It's a quick completion to Williams, but it's for a loss of 1.
But when you talk about him, Jim, you know, and listen, one of the reasons he didn't get drafted, not great size, not a great arm, not going to move around and make plays with his legs, but he knows how to play quarterback. He did it exceptionally well at Boise State. That's why the Detroit Lions kept him. Scott Linehan was there. They brought him down here because they knew what he's about. And Jason Garrett told us yesterday, hey, the guy knows how to play. He can get rid of the football quick. And that's the one thing the Cowboys really stress. They had it with Tony Romo, not so much with the other backups. They think Kellen Moore can get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, Linehan, the coordinator here, had him for a couple years there in Detroit. He's in trouble. Ducks, gets it away, and he's intercepted. His second NFL pass is a pick. And shoved out of bounds. Gilchrist has his 3rd pick of the year.
Well, there's pressure on him. Does a great job of getting away from it. Looking at Muhammad Wilkerson. Waits. Malden, a free rusher. And when you throw it deep down the field, you got to see across. And he never saw Marcus Gilchrist coming from the other side. Easy interception.
I tell you, there's been some words exchanged, too, down on the field between the likes of Des Bryant and Darrelle Revis. And then Marshall came out on the field. And finally, that's been broken up. This is a 28-yard return by Marcus Gilchrist. He ducked below the Pryor sack.
Calvin Pryor, and then just throws it. And really, there's no way when you make a throw like that, you cannot see enough. You can't get enough information with your eyes down the field. So he paid for it with an interception.
So the Jets operate now at the Dallas 24. Here's Powell. Trying to slip outside, but Carr is there. We've got a flag on the field. Loss of 1.
Holding. Offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Christmas Eve, only on NFL Network. The Chargers square off with the Raiders. We'll be in Oakland on Christmas Eve, bringing you that game, and then a special Saturday edition a week from now as the Eagles and the Redskins meet up in an important NFC East game, as you got 3 tied in that wacky division at the moment. Fitzpatrick drops back into the gun. The Cowboys take the 10 yards. First and 20 and pressure, and Fitzpatrick able to break out of it. Avoids a sack and picks up 2. Crawford was in on him, Tyron Crawford, and then Lawrence was the second to get to him.
Crawford, number 98, right up the middle, did a good job. It's going to be some tough matches inside when you look at this Jets offensive line for Brian Winters. Because this defensive line, you saw Tyrone Crawford. We've talked about, of course, Greg Hardy and DeMarcus Lawrence, all excellent pass rushers from outside and inside when they go against the guards.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
You got Romo in there with Castle and Moore all talking on the Cowboy bench. 2nd and 18, meanwhile, for the Jets. There's Fitzpatrick giving it up, throwing on the run, and he's got Enunwa with his 16th catch of the year.
Yeah, we talked about him, and Todd Bowles talked about Enunwa a little bit. We showed you the next gen stats, 4 wide receivers. They can do it because he can block like a tight end and be a wide receiver also. But he thinks her run game really has improved since they put him in the lineup, because that's how good he blocks on the edges and downfield when he needs to.
He's built like a tight end, isn't he?
Well, I've seen him work out many, many times, and when you see him in person, up close, it's pretty impressive.
3rd and 4 from the 18. Fitzpatrick in trouble again. And this time the Cowboys are able to get to him. The ball may have slipped out. There's still a scrum. And in the end, it's Ferguson who has the football. But it'll be a field goal attempt on the way.
Well, one of the first things we said, and we were told, is it a fumble? Hard to see. Looks like he might. Yeah, he was down before the football came out, Fitzpatrick. Still got possession going down, but he talked about definitely no fumble there. But they know they got to get rid of the football quick. You can see this is a pretty good Jets offensive line, Jim, as you watch it. That pocket collapses fast with those pass rushers from the Dallas Cowboys.
36-yard attempt coming up here for Bullock, who missed the point after. He's 9 out of 10 here with the Jets. And he gets the field goal from 36 out.
Cowboy defense coming through one more time.
7 minutes to go in the first half. Jets on top 9-3. Now Fitzpatrick, his corner man, addressing a cut.
Well, he plays like a boxer a lot of times. I think they would love to see Ryan Fitzpatrick not be as reckless running the football as he's been this year. And Todd Bowles said, hey, in the last couple of weeks, he actually slid one time.
Yeah, Whitehead's had a couple of nice returns. He's going to give it another go. And he runs recklessly out to the 21. Covered up well there by Miles for the 2nd time a special teams tackle tonight.
Well, Cowboys offense, the backup quarterback, that's all it's talked about down here. We saw the interception by Matt Castle, the bad sack, and then Kellen Moore on a second throw. Just, you know, look, can't get on it. Second pass of your career, but just throws it right down the middle. That's where trouble lurks. Interception, and the story will continue. The Cowboys, with their team, they're 4-9 because they didn't have the right backup quarterback.
As Moore finds Dez Bryant, and Dez has his first catch of the evening. Gain of 13, and Tracy Wolfson, what do you have down there on the sideline?
Jim, you talk about Kellen Moore, his first NFL start. Well, after that interception, he was calm, no panic at all, and a lot has to do with the 2 player coaches down here, Jason Witten and Tony Romo, in his ear, talking to him, giving him advice, really calming him down, Jim.
Yeah, there was a circle around him. And he just picked up the Cowboys' first down in 19 and a half minutes in the game. Here's McFadden, staying behind his blockers long enough to pick up a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Now,
Romo has seen some guys take his spot when he's been out. Look at the line of quarterbacks.
well, as you look at all those quarterbacks, they didn't pick the wrong guy every time. If you told me they're going to have Brandon Weeden and Matt Castle as the backups to Tony Romo when the season started, I'd say, wow, they're in pretty good position. 2 quarterbacks that have played, especially Matt Castle, has had success in the NFL. But the offense, it's so tailored to Tony Romo, it's made it difficult for guys to come in and run it.
There's McFadden going to take a loss. And interestingly, Romo has not been IR'd. He is still on the active roster, and they're going to keep him up until they are officially eliminated from a possible postseason berth. The way they figure it, again, we mentioned it at the top, if they win out somehow, their last 3, and the other 3 teams in the division all go 1-2, they would win the tiebreaker with best division record. They want to keep alive the possibility, given it's an extremely long shot.
Yeah, it is, but you know what? It's something that gave them hope. That's why they went out and practiced. Jason Garrett loved to practice during the week. We heard about it. That's because of that little sliver of hope.
3rd and 8 and more. Lobs it in the direction of Bryant. Airtight coverage by Rivas. So the Cowboys manage 1 first down. That's it. And now with 4:49 to go in the second quarter, they'll punt it back.
Well, coverage outside. Can Des Bryant beat Darrelle Rivas? And that's a great job by Rivas. He looks back. As the receiver looks back, and Darrelle Rivas said last night, a little jawing going on there, and that's what you want to do. Get Des Bryant distracted. But he was looking forward to this matchup, and so far he's done a good job.
That's not the first time they've been joined tonight. They were after each other on the interception by Gilchrist on the other side of the field. So might be more to come in that matchup. So Jones, who continues to do a good job for the Cowboys, uncorks a 52-yarder. Jets will have the football at their own 11. Back with Bill Sims, Tracy Wolfson, and Mike Carey. 4:42 to go in the half. Jets with a couple of timeouts. Starting this series back at their own 11.
Yep.
And that's Stephen Ridley, and it's been tough for Ridley coming back from a knee a year ago. That's his 19th carry of the season for a total of 25 yards.
Well, that time it was Anthony Hitchens showing that speed, getting inside. He's in playing linebacker. Rolando McClain, the usual starting middle linebacker, out of this game.
Meanwhile, we talked about the Jets with 2 timeouts. The Cowboys have a couple.
Hey, Mike's 5'9".
If they make a play here, who knows? They've got 4 minutes to go in quarter 2. And they got a pre-snap penalty coming up here against the Jets.
False start. Offense. Number 47. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. Replay. Second down.
Well, Fitzpatrick likes to finish runs at times, just risking his own health. This is at Oakland. That, of course, led to the injured thumb with some later surgery down in Houston. Had to pass a concussion test after that touchdown run, but he remained in the game.
This one today. You know, look, Jim, it comes a point where the quarterback, he has proven to the team, the coaches, the organization, and the fans, he's a tough guy. Now you got to stay on the field. Don't take unnecessary hits.
2nd and 16. He'll throw out of the end zone to Decker. And Decker is brought down. Football comes out after he was down. Hitchens on his back. 9-yard gain on what is, for Decker, his 3rd catch for a total of 30. These Jets wide receivers, this combo, just a couple of years ago, the Jets were looking for anything on the outside. They went out and got Decker, free agent, a year ago. And 2 years ago, this is the 2nd year with the Jets, coming by way of Denver.
Now you have Brandon Marshall to go along with it. It's a tremendous pair. You got a good running back, good offensive line.
3rd and 7, back at the 14. Here's Fitzpatrick. Throws on the run. There's a flag out as he hits his receiver, and it's Inunwe with his 2nd grab that goes for 34, but the flag's back at the 7-yard line.
Illegal hands. Hands to the face. Offense. Number 67. That penalty's half the distance to the goal. Replay. 3rd down.
Well, that's a huge play and penalty on both sides. Wipes out a big gain that would have put the Jets in position to do some business before the half.
Right there, number 67, Brian Winters got up into the face mask of Greg Hardy. And the one thing about when you have a really good pass rushing defensive line, that was a good example of it right there. They go after the quarterback. They don't keep spread out across the field. It allows the quarterback to move and make plays, which Fitzpatrick just did.
So now the Cowboys have a chance to do a little something here if their defense can make a stop. It is 3rd and 14 for New York. Look at the Cowboys defending the first down yardage. Across the middle they go. It's Powell. Cowboys surround him at the 13.
Yeah, we see this more and more, Jim. These kind of defenses, third and long or long situations trying to protect. Look how deep they are. They see where the first line mark is at the 21-yard line. So make them throw it short. Everybody, eyes on the quarterback and receivers, make the tackle.
Cowboys should have a chance off the punt to start their next series near midfield. We're at the 2-minute warning. Bill Cowher used to be, of course, a great coach, and now he's getting coached up by our Stuart Milstein, getting him set for the Lexus halftime report. Here's Quigley. He delivers a good one as Lucky has to go back, right head back to the 30 and takes off. Somersaults at about the 45. That was Powell, who had the game's only touchdown in on the tackle. 57-yard boot. So let's see if Moore can somehow rekindle this Cowboy offense that again is averaging 11.5 points.
Wow.
Fewer points than a year ago. Their total yards per game is down by the most since 10 years ago. The passing numbers are also very meager.
You lose your quarterback, a very good one, of course, in that. One of the best in the NFL, Tony Romo. You lose your star receiver, who's finally getting healthy. Tough to overcome.
There's a pass across the middle to Williams. He's got the first down yardage, and he's pulled down. Horse collar tackle coming up against the Jets. So they'll get the gain of 14 plus another 15. And I think Pace knows it.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, defense, number 97, horse collar tackle. At the 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play, first down.
Mike Carey, here it is. Pace bringing down Williams.
And here's where the discussion went on, because in order to be a foul, that hand has to be inside the collar. You could see that it was below the nameplate, probably one that we should have stayed off of.
Sixth penalty on the Jets. And brings the football to the 27.
2 completions to wide receivers so far for the Dallas Cowboys. And both times the Jets were sitting back in a zone defense. When it's man-to-man, no receivers caught a pass.
First down and hit when he threw it, and it falls incomplete. That was Richardson who hit Moore. Richardson who had a hand in his face when Moore threw his interception a couple of series ago. Kellen Moore is not, even in the words of his head coach, he's not a guy that's physically imposing, but we noticed being at practice yesterday that he'd gotten a couple of reps, a couple of snaps in practice, and they said just in case he was to be called on, they had to give him a fighting chance. But in practice, Jason Garrett said, he just has a knack for making plays.
Well, that's why he's in the NFL. That's why he had a great career.
Here he is on 2nd and 10. And he finds Butler, who shakes off the tackle and steps out of bounds at about the 10.
That was a good job that time by Kellen Moore. I'm sure he ran this type of play many times with the Detroit Lions. Going to look to his right, and then he knows the second person to look at is on the other side, and that's Butler. So a good job, good protection, and a good route that time against Cromartie, that tight man coverage. Finally, one of the guys broke it. That was Bryce Butler.
Butler goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Could have maybe fought for a couple of extra, but avoided the contact from Davis. First and goal it is. Over to Dez and into the end zone for a Dallas touchdown. He broke away from Revis to Dez Bryant.
It's an all-out blitz. Kellen Moore saw it, got rid of it to the outside, and what you basically are saying, can Darrelle Revis tackle Dez Bryant in the open field? And That time, no contest. Des Bryant walks in the end zone.
His third touchdown of the year.
You knew after last week, Jim, that he was going to be emotional, fired up. Sometimes they can work against you, but that time it helped.
And Bailey puts the Cowboys ahead by a point. So a big penalty on Pace.
See the blitz? Look at all the blitzers coming. Look how far Darrelle Revis was off. He pushes him back inside, but because of the blitz, nobody could react to the throw to Kellen Moore's left side, and that's why Des Bryant had that extra time to make the move to get in the end zone.
Moore on that series begins it with a pass play to Williams with the penalty added on. Then he finds Bryce Butler for a nice gain. And then it's over to Des Bryant, getting him involved. First NFL touchdown pass for Kellen Moore goes to Des Bryant.
Well, the completion to Terrence Williams, the penalty against Calvin Pace. You take that play by Des Bryant, and the Cowboy defense, listen, they kept this team in the game here today. Their front four, their front group has played very well, has made it tough on Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Jets offense. Well, he likes the AFC.
Yeah, how about that now? 14 consecutive matchups in AFC matchups. Des Bryant has scored a touchdown. Cromartie makes a couple of cuts and takes it to the 21. Jets will have 1 minute and 11 seconds to operate with, and the 2 timeouts. And week 15 of the season continues tomorrow on CBS and Fox. Here's the next broadcast window. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Some big ones on the slate there in the early window, like Carolina undefeated at the Giants with that NFC East up for grabs, and the Texans and the Colts in a game that figures to go a long way toward deciding the AFC South. And we'll be in Pittsburgh late afternoon to the full nation on CBS for Denver and the Steelers, a crucial game for each side. Here's Fitzpatrick. Back to the line of scrimmage, and Lawrence, as you've mentioned a few times, Phil, he's on a hot streak, and he's making plays again tonight.
Going to come all the way across 90, DeMarcus Lawrence, and what is happening? The initial receivers are not getting open for the Jets. Just that little extra second of holding the football, the defensive line getting there.
2nd and 10, a little wraparound pass to Powell. And again, he shows that quickness and goes out of bounds near the 40. A 19-yard gain, and he's got 40 seconds to operate with. And another reminder, the Lexus halftime report is coming up with JB and Dion and Coach Cowher. All their first half analysis coming up with the Cowboys at the moment leading at 10-9.
I swear, Bilal Powell is faster now than he was when he came in the NFL.
No question.
Gosh. This has really stuck out of late. Last week I really saw it, of course, and here today, quick.
On first down, here he goes back to Powell. And Powell, he is a threat underneath. The Cowboys don't have that defended. They give him another 11.
The Cowboys can be too conservative on the defensive side, in my opinion. They sit back there. They put so much pressure on their front four to get to the quarterback. Look at the defense. Everybody going back. Look at the space. Now you got to tackle them, and Powell gets an extra 5 yards after the catch.
And the Jets call the timeout immediately after he's tackled at the Dallas 49-yard line with 32 seconds to go before the intermission.
Well, it's been a good first half for this Cowboys defense and really the team to be in this position with the lead. Knowing the situation, don't give up the big play, but play tighter and see if you can keep them out of field goal range. Of course, that's the job they would like to do.
Well, they're only about 12 yards away from it. Here's Fitzpatrick, and Marshall is able to draw the flag on Carr. Carr with a little push and shove that took Marshall out of bounds. And that flag was thrown at the 30-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense, number 39. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Well, Brandon Carr was in great position the whole time. But at the last second, I can't imagine what it's like. Just continues to push and pushes Brandon Marshall out of bounds. You know, we talked to Darrell Revis. Oh, there was the one that really got it, that shove. But when you're a corner and you got to play against these wide receivers one-on-one, what a position to be in. What pressure. Hey, look, that's why they're in the NFL. They're good at this.
That was a 19-yard penalty. And Fitzpatrick goes back to Powell again. This time he's unable to get the open space because Sean Lee came up and made the quick tackle, and the Jets have taken their final timeout with 19 seconds remaining.
See what the coverage looks like as you look to that one side, but I think Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall at the bottom of the screen, kind of knew he was just in a range where you'd like to get a few more yards to get in field goal position and make it easier. That's why his first instinct was to look underneath for Bilal Powell.
Again, the Jets cannot stop the clock. Marshall to the near side from the 27. Powell has his 6th catch and hops out of bounds near the 22, which would make it about a 40-yard field goal.
Yeah, you know, when you get in a situation like this, Jim, you're the Cowboys defense. You give them the yards. You know, the way kickers are, we know they're all very good in the NFL now. Just prevent the big play. That's the defense they showed that last play, and I'm sure they'll do it again here.
4 passes on this drive alone to Powell has brought them down here into field goal range, and now they have a chance to throw it once to the end zone if that's what they want to do. Fitzpatrick from the pocket. Yes, he's going to the end zone. And it's over the back of the end zone in the direction of Tompkins. And now they'll bring out Bullock for what will be about a 40-yard field goal attempt to try to give the Jets the lead back.
Top of the screen, really well played by Byron Jones, reading the quarterback all the way. He knew that Tompkins was going to have to go outside. Nowhere to throw it, but just throw it away.
Nick Folk went on IR back in November, and Bullock was signed as a free agent immediately. This is a 40-yard attempt, and Bullock drills it. We got a flag and a whistle.
Illegal shift. Offense. The left end was moving. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
So Bullock will have to re-earn the 3. The margin right now in this game is just the missed PAT.
They're saying Duzable was not set long enough before the ball was snapped.
So they'll re-tee it here from the 45. And the former Texas A&M kicker unable to make it the second time as time expires on the first half, and the Cowboys go to the locker room with the lead. Looked like it might have been a high snap, Phil. Just a little bit off the right shoulder of Quigley, but that's not on the snap at all.
No, the hold was good. Just the execution and get in the right position, just like we see. So just pushes it to the right. Big break for the Cowboys.
So Bullock misses a PAT and a field goal. He had missed a couple of PATs at the beginning of the year when he was with the Texans, and they, at that point, severed ties with him. And let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Coach. You make the quarterback change. Kellen Moore leads you to a touchdown. What does he bring that made you make the switch?
Well, he's a smart guy. He's an instinctive guy. He hasn't played that much, but once he's settled into the game, I think you see what we like about him. I thought he did a really good job handling the pressure down in the red zone and giving Dez a chance.
The missed field goal there, what can you say about how your defense has held this offense in check so far?
Well, they're just battling. That's what this team is all about. Guys who are fighting and scratching and clawing. I thought our defense did a great job. They had a good drive, but we hung in there and made a big play at the end.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot,
thanks.
Jim.
Cowboys have the lead 10-9 at halftime, and we're back with the Lexus halftime report after these messages. Powell, look at that burst. Touchdown, Jets. Over to Dez and into the end zone for a Dallas touchdown. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. The Jets will receive the third quarter kick. The margin right here, the difference comes down to a missed PAT. And Dallas on top of the board 10-9 as we check out the first half performance moment presented by Mobile One. It's Dez Bryant to the end zone. Pryor made one last attempt at the tackle. Didn't get to him. And the Cowboys, who knows, Phil Simms, maybe they have found a spark here in Kellen Moore at quarterback.
Well, I think we listened to the halftime. I did, and we did, Jim, that it was a good move by Jason Garrett. They needed some energy. They needed a spark. And I think what Kellen Moore, just getting rid of the football a couple of times, especially against the blitz, turned this Cowboys team around.
And it came at the right time.
No question.
You know, Castle had just taken a sack for a loss of 19 on the previous series, had thrown an early interception, and you see the first half numbers, the Cowboys turning it over twice. For that matter, you know, Moore came in his first series, he got a little completion. His second throw was a pick, but undaunted by that, he came back, led him on a touchdown drive, got his first career touchdown pass to Dez Bryant.
Well, a couple things. You know, we talked about early in the game, the New York Jets on the offensive side, they're bigger than the Dallas Cowboys. They're having trouble with the speed of the Cowboy defensive line, but the Jets need to run the football.
Todd Bowles and the Jets trying to put together a 4-game win streak for the first time since 2010. So Bailey, this one not a deep kick. Cromartie steps up, takes it near the goal line, but the Cowboys surround him. Great kick coverage by the Cowboys, including Heath, bringing him down about the 14-yard line. And again, at the end of the first half, there was this illegal shift called against the Jets that took 3 off the board. And then Bullock had to try to make it for a second time from 45 out. And he was wide right by a foot.
Well, you heard Tracy Wilson talk to Jason Garrett. He said it. The defense did a tremendous job keeping them in the game. Jets got to settle this front down by running the football.
Here they go with Ivory. And Ivory's got a pickup of 4. Let's check in Tracy Wolfson. What did you hear at halftime?
Well, I spoke with Todd Bowles coming out of the locker room, and he mentioned those penalties. He said we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot, especially offensively. He said we need to get off the ball better. I asked him if the defense changes with Kellen Moore in there. He says not at all, but they do not have right now David Harris. He is questionable with a back injury. Someone Todd Bowles says is the glue to their defense, Jim.
Okay, well, it's been a quiet night on this side with both Ivory and Marshall. And Fitzpatrick able to get it to Kevin Davis. And Davis's 3rd catch of the year will give the Jets a first down. Gain of 9.
Well, one thing we wanted to see tonight, Brandon Marshall against Brandon Carr. Brandon Carr's done a good job down the field. Staying with him, a lot of contact. Nowhere to throw the football. But 2 things. Brandon Marshall caught one down the sideline, threw that pass interference. So those are big plays for Brandon Marshall also.
Well, Marshall has 1 catch tonight for 25. Ivory has 25 on the ground on 9 carries. Here's his 10th. Tries to run over Barry Church. But they'll give him 3 with that carry.
Wow. Barry Church, leading tackler of the Dallas Cowboys. Don't want to do that too often. And this is what happens. Todd Bowles even says it. You might come up and tackle Chris Ivory a couple times like that in the game, but sooner or later you're going to get tired of it and find a way to kind of move to the side. That's when he breaks the tackles and picks up extra yards.
Second and 7. Ivory putting together a season that leads the AFC in rushing. Looks like a Pro Bowl season for him. Pass knocked out of the hands. What a hit on Davis, who was down at Sean Lee, who delivered the blow.
It's a zone defense. Davis crossing the field. Sean Lee sees it all the way and gets the big hit. As a quarterback, you've always got to see in front of the receivers and try to protect them.
Well, they're asking you to hit a player these days when you're making a tackle. You know, they've tried to take away the head area as much as possible, the knees and everything else, and that was textbook what Lee did right there.
It was. Used the shoulder, wrapped his arms around him. Nothing even close to being illegal about that hit.
So Davis walks gingerly to the Jets bench, and New York will face a 3rd and 7. You know, talking to Todd Bowles and how they would treat this game, you asked him about the fact that, you know, you're in the stretch drive here. How are you going to treat it as you battle with the likes of the Steelers and the Chiefs and the Wild Cards? You're going to treat it the same. Treat it like every other game.
He said, my team plays best when they're relaxed. He tries to keep them that way. That's why he never pushes the panic button. Or
there's Fitzpatrick scrambling for the first. He got there. He runs it for 8. Needed 7.
Well, it's a really good run by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Once again, look at the gaping hole because 4 guys are all going to the quarterback, not staying in their lanes. And Fitzpatrick, pretty shifty here at the end, isn't he? It's, you know, little fake outside, gets around Terrence Mitchell and picks up. That's a big first down for this Jets offense.
The drive that began back at the 15. Picked up a couple of first downs to get to this point. And Ivory bounces off his own player and has about 6. Well, Kansas City, the Jets, currently 5th and 6th. The Steelers, well, there they are with 8 and 5. But, you know, if they all ended up in a 3-way tie, you start getting to conference record, common opponents. And the Jets, with a win out, are not assured right now of getting in the playoffs.
Go, go, go!
2nd and 4. And Ivory trying to get heated up. He's got a couple. Ivory runs so hard, Phil, that not only does he punish the defenders, but he takes a pretty good amount of contact. And, I mean, what he goes through in the week to recover.
Well, that's right. What's all the things he does? He takes hot tubs, cold tubs to
every day.
Get that blood flowing.
Goes to a chiropractor twice times a week, 2 treatments, acupuncture once a week.
And then my favorite,
the massage.
Oh man, you know, come on.
Twice a week.
But I'd have loved to have done some of those things when we were playing. But hey, it's modern day. These players take care of themselves.
3rd and 2. They pick up another first. It's Decker pushed out of bounds by the rookie Jones. So the Jets had struggled on 3rd down in the first half, but now they've converted the last couple of times. They were 1 out of 7, but now 2 of their last 2.
Well, it's a good job that time. Eric Decker beats Byron Jones to the outside. It's a good matchup to watch. The Decker plays the slot receiver a lot. Tough to cover him on those outside routes one-on-one.
He's got 4 catches tonight. Fitzpatrick looking down the field. They got hit when he threw it, and it was almost intercepted by Church. That was Randy Gregory, the rookie, who got a big hit on Fitzpatrick when he released it.
Randy Gregory to the outside, little delayed. Gets Cumberland the tight end. Always a tough matchup. When you have a tight end or a running back blocking a defensive lineman, the quarterback's got to know that protection and get rid of the football on time. Randy Gregory, a couple times he's got pressure tonight, playing more, a rookie, and being more productive as his season's gone along.
And the Jets fortunate that was not an interception. Could have gone anywhere. 2nd down and 10. They go round, and Ivory bangs heads with Wilbur. And forward progress gives him 2. Let's go down to Tracy.
Jim, I don't know exactly what's going on, but Brandon Marshall called over to the sideline. He pointed to his left arm and went right into the locker room. As soon as I get anything from the Jets, I will certainly pass it along.
Okay, he has, again, there he is heading in. He's been the recipient of only 1 pass tonight. And he goes to the locker room. Jeremy Curley comes onto the field. 3rd and 9 for the Jets. Here comes the blitz. Pass has to just be unloaded. And the blitz paid off for Dallas.
Well, it's just a question of numbers. And you got to make this decision. Change the play. Here they come. Blitzer. The Jets do not have enough guys to pick it up. And it's a bad decision that time. Bilal Powell goes inside along with Giacomini, the right tackle. Nobody to protect the outside for Fitzpatrick.
Cole Beasley, who's barely been seen tonight. He is back at the 10-yard line. And Beasley takes it to the 19. Kellen Moore bouncing around with some confidence after he got that touchdown pass, I should say, late 2nd quarter. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by Madden NFL 16, the best Madden ever, rated E for everyone, and by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. You're looking at the Perot Museum of Nature and Science in Victory Park in Dallas. And meantime, the Cowboys offense out on the field for the first time in the 3rd quarter. McFadden high stepping it for about 10. Give him 11. Big block on that play by Tyron Smith, the left tackle.
Yep, Tyron Smith. Tyler Clutch gets a good kick out. And McFadden, we talked about in the first half. You know, he looks as fast as he did in the days we covered him when he was out there with the Oakland Raiders.
When he was out with the Raiders, his best career game was against the Raiders. We were there to see it when he ran for 171 and a couple of touchdowns. Against the Jets, I should say. And here he is for another 4 yards. That was back in September of 2011 when he had his career-high numbers as a Raider against the Jets.
Well, look at this. Blitz by the Jets. Get a little 360 look. Quick throw outside to Dez Bryant. Look at the space that Darrelle Revis gives him. And he's tough. Hey, listen, not that he's elusive, Dez Bryant, but he's such a big, strong, powerful wide receiver. Hard to bring him down one-on-one. And that's why I think the Jets got to be a little careful about blitzing. Is that Kellen Moore, he's just going to look to get rid of the football quickly.
2nd and 6. He finds Witten for a first down. Witten with the catch and then backed up by Pryor, and the 9-yard pickup gives Dallas another set of downs.
Jason Witten just continues against Calvin Pace, and when you look at Kellen Moore, the one thing I've always liked, even when he was at Boise State, it is a quick, compact throwing motion, can get it out of his hand fast, and you know, we heard that about 3 times from Jason Garrett yesterday, not just about Kellen Moore, but about how the offense is designed and what Tony Romo did so well. Getting rid of the football plays just like that.
There's the fake to McFadden. And another pass to Bryant. To the Jets 43 and a 15-yard Dallas pickup.
Well, it's an all-out sell on the play-action fake. You move the quarterback, and then Dez Bryant's just going to read the safety. Right, they stay deep. he's going to hook it up. If the safety had been close, I believe he'd have just kept running. It's a play that pretty sure started down in Tampa Bay with Joey Galloway, and the Dallas Cowboys run it, and that time they ran it well.
Moore has connected on his last 4 passes, including the one that went for a touchdown in the second quarter to Bryant. Outside goes McFadden, taken up inside the 30 to the 20 and near the 10-yard line. Darren McFadden.
You got to keep your eyes open, head up when you're the outside defender on defense. Sheldon Richardson, top of the screen, makes contact. That's Collins. Yeah, he wins the battle there, but he lets McFadden get outside. And just like that game we saw in Oakland when he ran against the Jets defense, like going back in time for Darren McFadden.
He's got 12 carries for 79 yards. And he sets up Dallas at the 10, 1st and goal. Let's see if Moore has any success operating the offense in the red zone. He's already been successful once. Up the middle, McFadden for 4. NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today. Get free shipping at the official store of the NFL, NFLshop.com. Things just look different now with Moore getting more and more reps.
Well, he's comfortable now. He's got confidence, hit some passes. And listen, the strength going into the season, we thought this Dallas Cowboy offensive line that was overpowering last year, going against the best rush defense in the NFL, doing an awfully good job here in the second half running the ball.
2nd and goal. Moore stands in the pocket, throws, intercepted in the end zone by Pryor. Tripped up near the 10-yard line.
Almost the same thing that happened to him on the first throw down the middle. The backside safety, he never sees him. Pryor reads the quarterback, comes across the field, gets the easy interception.
3rd interception of the game by the Jets. This time it's Calvin Pryor. Well, Kellen Moore had the Cowboys ready to go in again and throws an interception in the end zone. His 2nd pick thrown, one to Castle earlier in the game, and the Jets take over with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd at their own 11.
Well, Jim, the one thing you learn in the NFL, you don't look at the receiver sometimes. You look at the space where you want to throw the football. So here's Pryor. Watch him. He's reading the quarterback. Nobody to cover. Now he reads the quarterback, comes across. Des Bryant going in the back of the end zone, and that's how he gets the interception. But, you know, you don't stare the receiver down. You look to where you want to throw the ball. That's how you pick up the defenders in front as they go across the field.
By the way, another nice play by DeMarcus Lawrence, getting Powell, a loss of 1. And there's an interception right back by Terrence Mitchell. Just brought back to Dallas and put on the roster. Mitchell takes it all the way to the end zone, says, hey, nobody touched me. The officials have him marked at about the 20.
Jason Garrett said he loves his attitude. He's an aggressive football player. Tons of confidence. Did anybody touch him?
Oh, I think he has a case here.
Nobody touched him.
Cowboys are celebrating with him. He says, guys, get away. I'm taking it to the house.
But the play.
Oh, well, yeah, that's going to be the contact by Curley.
Yep, there it was, yes.
So properly called on the field. This is an amazing story here. He was drafted in the 7th round. A year ago was Mitchell, and he came in with all kinds of confidence, and Garrett liked him, but ultimately he got cut. He bounced around with a couple of teams. He was available, and they just recently brought him back in early December, and Simon brought him back to the team that had drafted him. Turpin somehow able to get a yard out of what seemed destined for a loss of 2, but he picks up 1. We got another Jet player slow to get up. It's Wilkerson. Boy, tough night for the Jets. We saw Decker go down, but he came back. Marshall's been in the locker room, and now Wilkerson needs some attention.
Welcome back to Dallas. Brandon Marshall back out here on the bench. I was told it is cramping, and that is why he was pointing to that left arm. You can see as black tape wrapped around it. You can only assume he received an IV, Jim.
Meantime, thanks, Tracy. The Cowboys snap it at the Jets 22nd and 8. And in and out of the hands of Beasley.
Well, it's, you know, Jim, as you look at that interception, I see what Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing. Watch 21. He thinks he's going to break outside, then he reads the quarterback, breaks back in, fooled Fitzpatrick. That's why he gets the interception. And right there, he would have been down no matter what because Jeremy Curley tripped him by the ankles.
Throw that Fitzpatrick has to highly regret. It never looked like there was a whole lot there, but Mitchell making a play after just coming back. 3rd and 8. And Moore should have been caught by Beasley. Trying to make the cut, and probably had the angle and the separation on Revis enough to have been able to get the first down.
Yes, he would have. He wanted to go down the middle to Jason Witten. He was covered, and boy, Kellen Moore is picking up this offense and making fast reads. Got off the first receiver, found Beasley. Beasley sure-handed. Surprised to see him drop the ball.
Well, Dan Bailey has to be brought back out for a 38-yard field goal. And Bailey's kick dead center. Set up by the Mitchell interception. Only the 9th takeaway by Dallas. After the postgame, a new chapter in a classic rivalry, and the moment Dallas returned to glory. It's The Timeline, a new NFL Network original series after the postgame, only on NFL Network. Downtown Dallas, the Cowboys over here in Arlington leading the Jets at 13-9. Bailey, no run back this time for Cromartie. Fitzpatrick coming back out after his last pass was picked that led to a field goal. This Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Lexus. Turn every ride into a thrill ride with the Lexus Performance Line. Billy Bob's, the world's largest honky-tonk, over in the historic stockyards of Fort Worth.
Did you go honky-tonking when you went to University of Houston? I want to know.
Come on. Urban Cowboy. Look at Wilkerson going into the locker room. Yeah, and I can also report that Des Bryant also went to the Cowboy locker room during that break.
Well, you can also see Brandon Marshall back out in the field for the Jets, which is 4 drives started in the opponent's territory. 6 total points out of great field position by both teams.
Ridley is the running back. Drop back Fitzpatrick, and a good pass to Marshall. His 2nd catch of the game.
Yeah, beautiful timing, good throw, good protection, and just a straight drop back by Fitzpatrick and Brandon Marshall. That's the technique that you're seeing Brandon Carr, how he's playing. Running away, a runaway technique, trying to read the quarterback, but the throw was on time and Carr couldn't react. This Dallas defensive line, it's been the difference so far in this game. They are just too quick and aggressive for the Jets offensive line so far.
Throwing again on 1st down and dumping it off. Ridley tripped up by Byron Jones after 3. Fitzpatrick's been sacked twice. He's been hit a whole lot more than that too, Phil.
Yeah, he's running out of the pocket, feeling the pressure. When he throws it a couple times, not able to step in the throw, throwing it away because the blitz. Listen, this Dallas defense, they made it tough on Aaron Rodgers last week. They finally got so tired from being out there all the time that Green Bay wore them down.
Ridley on 2nd and 7. Never able to shake off the Dallas defenders, and Brandon Carr comes up and knocks him back 1.
Yeah, it's a great job that time. When you watch it, Brandon Carr did a good job. Then Kyle Wilbur, also the linebacker, just nowhere to run for Ridley. You know, you got to outside, look at the top of your screen. You got to cover Brandon Marshall one-on-one, reads the run, gets right by him for the tackle.
The crowd here urging on their defense to make a stop on 3rd and long for the Jets. 3rd and 7. Fitzpatrick incomplete. Going to Decker. The pass looked to be behind him.
Like what they did, though, Jim. The throw was behind him. They put Eric Decker in motion so they could give him a little room to go across the field. Fitzpatrick zeroed in on him the whole way. Watch as he comes in the screen. He's going to go up and go across. And Jones, all it takes is a little space. He had it. And Fitzpatrick upset that he missed the throw.
Quickly. Lucky Whitehead makes the catch at the 9, turns around. And a lot of effort for about a 3-yard return after a 47-yard boot. I have mentioned it earlier. We're 50 days away from Super Bowl 50, partner.
All right.
Let's go back, though, in time and look at Super Bowl 3 in Miami. The guaranteed victory by Joe. And the Jets coming through. Namath threw for 206 yards. Would be named the MVP. We got the countdown clock as we're inside of 50 days. And we're going to get to the Super Bowl. And every Super Bowl MVP is going to be introduced before the game. So you got a few things to do that day. Call the game, out there, walk out there, take a bow.
Well, okay.
Looking forward to it.
I can't wait to hear you introduce me. Well, here he comes. No, it'll all be good. It's a great day. Looking forward to it. And people always ask me, who do you think's going to be in the Super Bowl? I'm just going to tell you the truth. I have no clue. Because the games, just like last week, we see Denver, Oakland at Denver. Denver's dominating the game. You go, wow, they're one of the best teams in the league. And the next thing you know, they lose to the Oakland Raiders at home when they gave up, what, minus 12 yards in the first half to them. So this league, long way to go.
Think of all the years, though, when a team right now that you don't really have on the first list starts to get hot, gets something going, and they take it all the way to the title. As Witten holds on.
Well, we got somebody here today, Bill Cowher.
That's what I was thinking.
Took his team, wild card, and went on the road and got it done. They got hot at the right time, people getting healthy. And, of course, in the NFL, I'm a big believer in this. It's about how your team matches up against the opponent. You know, sometimes when you're better than we think we got a good team, if there's a bad matchup, it's hard to go out there and dominate and win those games. So you got to be good, plus you got to be fortunate, too, I think.
That team of Coach Cowher, you talked about, were 7-5. They were 7-5. They finished 11-5, and then went on to win Super Bowl 40. 3rd and 2, and the toss, and look at him carrying the football in his right hand. McFadden has the first.
Nice footwork. By Kellen Moore, a little fake, pitches it out. Terrence Williams gets the block. Demario Davis just can't run McFadden down, and well, I'll tell you, Darren McFadden.
Good block, too, by Terrence Williams.
Yes, good block by him. If we could have had this running game all year long like we're seeing here tonight, this team wouldn't be in this position at 4-9.
We're heading to the fourth quarter with the Cowboys leading the Jets 13-9. Tonight's Next Gen Stats are brought to you by Go90. Watch the NFL on the go with Go90. Go90 to watch, cut, and share all the awesome. And what do we have in store here?
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, and Mike Carey. Cowboys lead it. And since Moore has taken over at quarterback, Dallas has had a 10-3 edge.
Well, it looks crisper. You said it during the commercial. They just look like got more life, more confidence. It shows.
There's McFadden, not a lot of room over there. When he picked up the first on that third down play, that was Dallas's first third down conversion of the game.
Wow.
Des Bryant is not out there. And Tracy, you got any answers to that?
Yes, Des Bryant right now in the locker room, just like Brandon Marshall got earlier. He too is getting an IV, Jim.
You know, Jim, let me just say this. Here you go. We talked about the playoff picture before the game started. You have to think the Jets, very little room for error. Fourth quarter here, down to the Dallas Cowboys. Their third-string quarterback, they got to find a way to make plays on the defensive side because their offense is struggling.
Play action fake by Kellen Moore, and that pass incomplete. McFadden on the previous play reached 100 for the game, his fifth 100-yard performance this season.
Good throwaway by Kellen Moore that time. Nobody open down the field. Avoid the sack, of course. Keep this third down a little more manageable. But, you know, you almost have to be careful, I think, if you're the Jets. I said it earlier. You blitz this offense. They were ready for it. Des Bryant coming back, but they were working on the blitz all leading up to this game. You got a stand-up defense. Usually means something different is coming.
Yep. Look at the down lineman now. Back off. 3rd and 8. Here they come. Moore backpedaling and just throws it away. And into the arms of Barry Church on the bench.
Well, when you see them stand up like that roaming around, they're going to do it to play zone defense. They're trying to confuse everything. So here's the quarterback to this side. You see the blitzers. Kellen Moore looks down the field. The initial protection is pretty good, but does the right thing once again. Throw it away.
Barry Church. Hey, what's this? Pre-snap call coming up here against Dallas.
Ball start, offense, number 52, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, you think of the interest in this game, not only, as you said, there's not a lot of margin for error for the Jets because of what they face when it comes at the end with tiebreakers against the likes of Kansas City and the Steelers. But you think of the interest in this game right now, the Chiefs, the Steelers, their concerns, a lot riding on this game for them.
Well, they're done with their Saturday night meetings. I promise you, they're watching this game.
And Curley able to get past Wilcox and step out at about the 30. Jason Garrett smiling right now because his Cowboys lead in the 4th quarter. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by the Lincoln Wish List event. Visit your Lincoln showroom today, and by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. About 15 miles west of here, Fort Worth, Cowtown, USA. Cowboy culture, unique mix in that great city, 16th largest in the country. Hey, by the way, look at Jones on the punt. He got hit as he came down the field, shaken up a little bit. Trevor Riley was the one who hit him. And he's been a valuable part of this game tonight for the Cowboys. There's Fitzpatrick stepping away from the heat and finding Marshall. And give Marshall another 15 right there.
Excellent job stepping up in the pocket by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Just drops down, throws it sidearm, and a good job by Brandon Marshall. Catch it, protect yourself, especially over the middle.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
Fake it to Ivory. And Fitzpatrick again on the run. Finds a receiver in Decker for a 1st down.
And they run this play so much, the Jets do. The play action, you see Chris Ivory back there. You know you got a good offensive line. Everybody gets caught inside. Then the receiver down the sideline. Makes this throw a lot. See it a couple times every week. And you have good receivers outside. Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, you get completions like that.
Hey, Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
Now in Dallas territory with 12:40 remaining. Pressure on Fitzpatrick. And that pass is incomplete. That was Anthony Hitchens who came racing after him.
Yep, watch this. DeMarcus Lawrence stops one drive by the Jets. Then Greg Hardy on the same play. He's in the backfield to stop it. Two big keys why this team, this Dallas Cowboys, look at them again. Get inside, big third down stop. Well, the Dallas Cowboys are winning this game 13-9.
Yeah, Lawrence being rotated out at the moment, but he has a sack in this game, giving him 6 in his last 6 games. He crossed over at Boise State with Kellen Moore. They were teammates for a couple of years. The Boise guy is trying to come up big for the boys. Second down and 10. And Fitzpatrick slings it. He's got Marshall down at the 23.
Beautiful throw. Brandon Marshall runs what they call it like a skinny post. Goes down to the field and just bends it in just a little bit. And Fitzpatrick, boy, he can throw some. He throws it well when he throws it sidearm, but when you have a corner that's playing outside, Brandon Marshall, see the outside technique. This is the play you want to see. The slight bend in and the throw right on time and right on target.
3 catches in the half for Marshall, 4 for the game. That one went for 20. And ridden down by Sean Lee, who was right there after the catch by Enunwa. Holds him to only a gain of 1. And again, reminder, Christmas Eve will be in Oakland for the Chargers and the Raiders. And then on the 26th, a week from tonight, the Redskins and the Eagles, with the NFC East so much up for grabs. 2 division showdowns this coming week only on NFL Network. Second and 9. Go back to Ivory. Ivory finally has room. And he fights for everything to get near the first down. Penalty marker on the field.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty, replay.
And that's why there was room on that right side. Giacomini called for holding.
You said it right. That's why he got outside. And you know, listen, we've said it a few times, but the quickness and the speed of Dallas's defensive line has given this Jets offensive line troubles, and you get penalties like this. You get holding calls when you just can't keep up with the quick movement of the defensive line.
DeMarcus Lawrence is back on that defensive front for Dallas. Lined up across from Giacomini. Marshall and Decker on the right side on a 2nd and 19. They double team Lawrence. And Ivory hammered down by Hardy and Lee. After 6, 3rd and long coming up for New York.
Well, of course, they're in field goal range here, Jim. And, you know, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, be careful, be safe. Make sure you secure at least a field goal try.
And the kicking has been the difference in this game. A missed field goal and a missed PAT.
Yeah, the kicking's been bad, but it still can't affect your decision. The field goal, if you don't pick up yards here, too big to pass up.
3rd and 13. Fitzpatrick up the middle on the go, and he's got his target. What a catch and effort by Enunwa to fight off defenders and set him up 1st and goal to go. 25-yard pass play.
Wow, it's the movement of Fitzpatrick. We've said it a few times, but anybody in front of him? And the answer is no. Nick Mango pushes Tyrone Crawford out, and what a catch by Enunwa. Fitzpatrick, I think he threw it exactly where he wanted to, a little bit behind, because if he leads him, he's going to lead him into trouble.
So on a 3rd and 13 or 14, the Jets strike for a 24-yard pass play.
Cowboys, they've let him move so much tonight. You think when they go to the sidelines, they say, hey, stay in your rush lanes, make the quarterback.
Fitzpatrick to the end zone, incomplete.
Make him stay in the pocket and beat us.
Trying to go to Decker. Jones was with him. All right, the Cowboys defense in the first quarter put up quite a stand and made a stop on 4th down here in this area.
Yeah, we just looked at it. It was a big stop. And
Rod Marinelli, the D coordinator for the Cowboys, hoping they can do it again.
You're on the 3-yard line. You got a big, powerful running back.
Marshall.
I'd look for run right here.
At the top, Decker shifting over to that left side as well. And that's Decker. Really, no one near him. Touchdown, New York. His 10th of the season.
Well, he comes across the formation, and nobody's there because I think Brandon Marshall, I was expecting run. Here comes Eric Decker. Watch Brandon Marshall and see what he does. Goes inside, makes Jones go around him. That's all you need, and it's a wide open, easy touchdown. Well designed. Cowboys playing man-to-man, and the Jets took advantage of it with a little run play by Brandon Marshall.
Extra point is good by Bullock.
What a drive by Fitzpatrick there. Some big throws in big moments.
They drive 80 yards, Phil. 9 plays. We have our 3rd lead change of the game. Tonight's Skycam is being presented by Mazda. Decker with his 10th. Marshall has 11 touchdown catches on the season. The 21 combined is a Jets receiving tandem record. Most touchdowns ever by a Jets duo.
Leslie Walker, Altoon. I remember that one well.
Marshall, by the way, has tied Altoon with 93 catches on the year. Toon has the single season record. It's now been tied for most catches. Whitehead spins away from contact, but more Jets await. And let's look at next gen stats presented by Go 90. But I'm at McFadden tonight, Bill. He's got 100 yards exactly on 16 carries.
Well, if you're the quarterback and you're looking down the field, this is where he runs and what he's had success. To the left side, 2 big runs for 11 yards, 33 yards. Talked about it many times. Boy, Darren McFadden late in the year. Older running back by NFL standards. Outstanding night.
He's on the sideline. Turbin's in the backfield. Bryant's on the field. He missed the last series, getting an IV. And Whitman with the catch for about 7. His 4th reception tonight.
Yeah, Jason Witten is really unbelievable when you're watching all the years, all the punishment, everything, and just, yeah, he's not fast by NFL standards anymore, but he just knows how to set up defenders. And of course, he's a big man. We talked to him yesterday, and if he gets in front of you, you're just not going to be able to go around him and make the plays and knock the pass down.
In another year, his 12th straight year with 60 catches plus. Inside handoff, Whitehead, and it is immediately read out and snuffed by Demario Davis.
Well, he did a good job, Demario Davis, on the outside. That's what he's got. He's got to play the force, be the guy that stops the outside runs, and Demario Davis really playing well the last 4 or 5 weeks. The Jets just playing more guys on defense, keeping their players rested, so when they're in there, they can be more productive.
3rd and 4. Can Moore avoid the short series? Pass is caught by Beasley. There were Jets all in that area. Moore somehow threaded it, and Beasley has a gain of 23 on his first catch this evening.
You said it right. He threads it going to the left side. Oh, and Calvin. No, it wasn't Calvin Pryor. That was Marcus Williams reading and just comes off of Witten and just misses the football and the interception.
Bryant and Rivas. There's actually a punch thrown there, but no flag. Nice cut right off the handoff by Turbin. Penalty marker is out, however.
Holding. Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty.
Zach Martin.
Replay. First down.
Tomorrow at 9 on NFL Network, Giants star receiver Odell Beckham Jr. reveals the secret to his success. NFL Game Day morning, live tomorrow at 9 only on NFL Network. Should be a great day of football tomorrow as we continue on with Week 15.
It's been a pretty good night of football, too.
It has.
Everything that's at stake, the Dallas Cowboys trying to hang in what slim hopes they have about the playoffs, and the Jets really in do or die when you look at the schedules, knowing they probably got to win 3 in a row.
Ball start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Collins this time in penalties hurting the Cowboys after the catch by Beasley. It'll be a 1st and 25 coming up.
Well, all except for a few times tonight, they just put Des Bryant outside so Darrelle Revis can see him. If they want to, they can always help out because they know where he's going to be.
Good catch, reaching back for it. Witten gets 11 yards back with that catch. And what a catch it was, Phil.
Yep, coming across. Henderson, the linebacker, trying to read the quarterback, goes the wrong way, leaves Jason Witten wide open.
Most receptions all time. He's 10th.
What a group to be in. 2nd round pick, I think, just guessing, out of the University of Tennessee. 3rd round pick. Even makes him a bigger steal.
2nd and 14. Moore, where's he going? He's just going back to the line. Williams and Richardson both met him there at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up. Got inside 5.5 to play.
Yeah, I'm curious, how do the Jets play this 3rd and long? I think I would play it safe, make him throw it short. If you get too aggressive, you blitz. You don't want to just put it up for a jump ball outside to Des Bryant or any receivers for the Cowboys. This time, Des Bryant comes over in the slot, gets Darrelle Revis off of him.
Yeah, he's got screen on him instead. Revis is on Beasley at the bottom. Cowboys need 13 for the first. Catch is made, and now decisions coming up here for Jason Garrett. It's going to be 4th and long 2.
Yeah, I think I think you have to go for it. Looks like Jason Garrett will. What a catch by Des Bryant. That's why they put him in the slot. They give him a little space and screen. Very aggressive right there, but a good throw to the outside. And
did this ball hit the ground? No, he pulled it back up.
Oh, he caught that cleanly.
So 4th down for the Cowboys.
Bunch formation up the top, try to create confusion, back the defense off. They got what they wanted.
From the gun, Moore. He's got time. He's got his man. It's Beasley. And the Cowboys keep on moving.
What a job by Kellen Moore. Kind of retreated, gave himself some extra time, but it was the formation that really started it. Beasley, look at that. Gets to go up the field, gets a lot of space between him and Antonio Cromartie.
Might have been Moore's best throw so far.
Yes, it was. It was a good one. It was a big one. It's the biggest throw so far in this game. Now they're close to field goal range.
Well, with the likes of Bailey, he can make it from 55, but they got 1st down here. They escape a 1st and 25. And that's Turbin. No gain.
That's Henderson.
And Henderson seeing all this action after Harris was hurt in the 1st quarter.
And like I said, they've been playing over the last weeks. Linebackers more. We've seen Henderson get in there. We've seen Malden in tonight.
3 minutes to go. Dallas with 3 timeouts. How about Moore on this drive? 5 for 5 for 62 yards. There's his first incompletion on this series. Trying to go back to Beasley.
Had him open, just let it a little too much.
Jerry Jones has to like the spirit he's watched from his Cowboys here tonight.
Need to pick up a few yards here to make this field goal try a little easier.
3rd and 10. Jets blitz. Pass caught, which will make it about a 50-yard attempt. Beasley with the grab.
Well, they came with an all-out blitz. They were going to make Kellen Moore get rid of the football, and that was well played. Let the receiver catch it and make the tackle.
Tell you what, since the Jets are not going to call a timeout here, the Cowboys are just going to let this run all the way down. Cowboys just going to let it run all the way down to the 2-minute warning and then attempt the tying 50-yarder if he makes it on the other side of the break. Interesting little thought there how he used the clock.
Good job by Jason Garrett. Ties the game up, trying to make it harder for the New York Jets.
Thursday Night Football Saturday edition brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL, and by Pepsi and Buffalo Wild Wings. Grab a Pepsi, catch a game.
Well, you know, I'll say this, no matter what happens in this game tonight, I don't know how you feel, Jim. I'm asking your opinion. Kellen Moore, the 2 interceptions, they don't bother me. I think he's accounted himself very well. Drove the Cowboys down the field here this time to give him a field goal try and showed a lot of poise out there playing this game.
And Bailey from 50 has not missed from 50 and beyond this season. This to tie the game. And Bailey's kick hits the upright and goes through. The game is tied with 1:55 to play. Well, Dan Bailey has just kicked his 3rd field goal of the game, and I tell you, they were 70,000 plus holding the breath for a moment.
What would your partner in basketball say? And a kiss.
A little kiss off the
goalpost. I tell you, that's pressure. I think these field goal kickers go out in big moments like that.
I tell you, it's onions.
Onions, that's right. Well, let's go back and look at what the Jets. Fitzpatrick, I thought he was awesome in the last drive. Moving in the pocket, throws a back shoulder throw to Enunwa to keep the drive going, and it did a nice little rub play by Brandon Marshall as you spin it around. Look at the mess the Cowboy defenders are in, and he finds Eric Decker for the touchdown. You know, when you have tendencies, when you play man-to-man coverage, especially inside the 10-yard line, you can expect that type of play. Fitzpatrick, the Jets took advantage of it. Plenty of time. 3 timeouts, 1:55 to get in field goal range.
Pass to Powell, stumbles and loses a yard. Cowboys converge in a hurry, including Lawrence.
What do you do if you're the Cowboys? You don't call a timeout here. You got to wait and see this drive and see what position you're in. So
Kellen Moore continues to grind away and learn on the fly. Here's the 2nd down play with pressure. And Enunwa, again, he's impressive tonight. He tried to back in for the first, but he stopped about a yard short. Coming up after the game, the Mazda post-game show interviews and analysis as the Jets hurry to the line. 3rd and a foot. Fitzpatrick lost the football And Hardy has the football. They rule Fitzpatrick down.
Well, it's inside of 2 minutes. It's going to be reviewed upstairs. That came out. I thought it came out quick. The only way they might get a review. Oh, I was going to say Jason Garrett might have to call a timeout to let him look at it.
Take a look at that one. We've got another one that is so close. It's fractions. Let's bring in Mike Carey as the ball coming out before the right knee hits the ground, the shin.
And that's exactly what you're looking for, is the ball coming out. Now you see the ball moving a little bit, but you can't say that it's...
The ruling on the field stands as called. The runner was down by contact, and it is a first down.
And that's exactly why it wasn't definitive one way or the other.
And Dallas looks a little bit unorganized here. Defensively, they're going to have a chance, though, to get settled in as the Jets again came out of the Rolstad call and hurried to the line. 1:06 to play. Fitzpatrick, pressure on the pass into the hands of Tompkins, and Tompkins has him set up in field goal range.
Really wide open. Kimbrell Tompkins down the right side beats Jones. Oh, he's looking inside, trying to read the quarterback. Why, I don't know, because that's his job, to run with Tompkins down the sideline. Safety in the middle of the field. One-on-one coverage on the outside. Dallas makes a big mistake on the defensive side.
For 43 yards. Run play for 2. Powell.
How about that? All the one-on-ones we've seen tonight, they find Tompkins down the sideline.
Dallas timeout.
And it's funny how they played it. It makes me think that, you know, Jim, as I look at it, it's like Jones thought maybe he had somebody in over the top helping him, but there was nobody. And then once he realizes it's too late.
And this could all be setting up for Randy Bullock, who's had a very difficult time here tonight. Could be setting up for him to come out for an attempt to put all that behind him, to erase all those memories and be the hero in the end. Missed PAT, missed field goal to close out the first half. Second and 9. Draw Powell. Dallas brings him down at the 21, and Cowboys use their second timeout. From here, you're talking about 38, 39 yards. Cowboys, so many close losses all this year. Been a running theme.
Yeah, it has, Jim, and it's just, let's watch. Here's the bottom of the screen, and you see if there's any way you think, here's the safety back in the middle. Well, you know what? He does. I was wrong. They were split. He probably thought he was going to get some help. The help was there. It was there, but it was way too late.
Fitzpatrick's thrown for 132 yards in this quarter. Jets 3rd and 5 with 44 seconds to go. Powell knocked back to the 22. It'll be a 40-yard attempt. Last timeout used by the Cowboys. The Mazda post-game show coming up after the game. Interviews and analysis. Bullock has strutted onto the field.
Well, I think as you watch this game, does this not mirror a lot about the Cowboys season? You know, they get the game tied or ahead. The defense can't hold it. They make a mistake late. We saw it down in New Orleans.
They've lost 2 games in overtime.
Yep.
The Jets have won 2 games in overtime, and now this is to avoid overtime. This is for Bullock with 41 seconds to go to put the Jets up. From 40 yards out, Bullock comes through. Jets take the lead at 19-16.
Well, he hit it with confidence, I'll say that. It's almost like, you know, I always love golf analogies. It's like hitting that driver right down the middle flush in a major on the 18th hole. I mean, it really is about that kind of pressure when you think about these kickers going out trying to win and lose games.
Yeah, he killed that one. And Todd Bowles and his Jets now just need to somehow keep Dallas from doing anything crazy here in the final 36 seconds. 5 of the Dallas losses already this year have been by 7 points or less. There's the overtime game in New Orleans you talked about. And then the Giants got that big return by Dwayne Harris, former Cowboy. Seattle beat him in the end. Another overtime loss to the Eagles. Winston and the Bucks got that 4th quarter touchdown to beat them by 4.
Yep, Dallas, tough position again, but I'll say this, Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, just kind of worked his way through the football game, but the last 2 drives, when it counted, he was at his best. And he's been the difference in this game. That's why the Jets are leading. His movement and some big throws.
Lucky Whitehead trying to give the Cowboys a chance. Breaks the tackle, clutches the football with 2 hands, and Dallas will snap it at the 25 with now only 30 seconds remaining. And no timeouts.
Yeah, you know, of course, 30 seconds. You can throw it in the middle of the field, but if you catch it inbounds, you got to hustle and spike the football to save time. We know Dan Bailey has one of the best kickers in the NFL, can kick it a long way. So if you can just cross midfield, can give you a chance at a long field goal.
This isn't going to be good for much. In fact, stiff arm out of bounds, took 6 seconds, picked up 8 yards.
You know, situations like this, you and I have done a lot of games. It comes down to this. What's the one thing I hate? Well, I hate a lot of things.
I don't even know where to begin. That's a list.
But no.
We actually have a graphic, but it's like 10 pages long.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't like 3-man rushes in situations like this.
We saw it in Green Bay just a few weeks ago.
Quarterbacks can move too much.
And that was actually in Detroit when Green Bay pulled it out with the Hail Mary. And here's Kellen Moore unwinding, looking for Dez, and it's intercepted to close out the game. Marcus Williams with his 6th pick of the year. And the Cowboys' slim hopes are down to no hopes for the playoffs.
Well, good job. Don't bite on anything underneath. Revis does not. Kellen Moore does the right thing. Just throws it up, gives Dez Bryant at least a chance. And the Jets, not a crisp game at all by them, but they found a way to win. A lot of big moments, but none bigger than Fitzpatrick the last 2 drives.
Tony had thoughts that maybe Dez would win the jump ball. They could run down and spike it. That's not the case. The Jets win for the 4th consecutive week. They go to 9-5 on the season. They've got New England coming up next week and then close out the regular season at Buffalo. Their first 9-win season, as well as their first 4-game win streak since back in 2010.
Well, they're a different team. They're cool under pressure, no question. When you watch the Jets, Todd Bowles has done a tremendous job. Ryan Fitzpatrick solidified the quarterback position. Just a couple reasons why they're 9-5 this year.
Well, all those teams coming into the week at 8-5, 3 of them. The Chiefs and Steelers, as we chronicled, they both were watching with great interest, but the Jets now climb to 9-5. And now Dallas is officially eliminated. Final score, the New York Jets 19, the Dallas Cowboys 16. Coming up next, it's the Mazda postgame show. Phil, I'll see you tomorrow, my man.
Man, I'll tell you, tomorrow's game's got a lot to live up to after this one. This is pretty good. A lot of fun.
On our way to Pittsburgh for Denver and the Steelers to the full nation tomorrow afternoon. For Phil, Tracy, Mike Carey, Jim Nance saying so long from Dallas. You've been watching Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football.